This Rubik's Cube taught me 7 business lessons that took me to the next level. I'm going to share with you those 7 business lessons. Yes, this Rubik's Cube. You'll be wondering, how did this Rubik's Cube teach me those 7 lessons, right? I'm going to share with you a story first, okay? So my daughter, so I've got a 7-year-old child. She comes up to me about 2.5 weeks ago, and she says, "Papa, can you solve this Rubik's Cube for me?" And I looked at it. I'm like, "No, I can't do it." I said it with so much conviction because I've never been able to do it. I've tried it like a million times in my life, and I couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, when I said that, she said something back. She said, "But then, Papa, you can go on YouTube and learn it." And when she said those words, I had 2 big realizations, right? Here, this 7-year-old child is telling me, go on YouTube, learn it, and go and teach her. And when she said that word, I felt, wow. If I just told her I didn't know how to do it, what is the message I'm passing over to her? She's my child. What if she grows up just saying, I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to do it? What will I feel, right? And then in that moment, I was like, I'm actually her role model. I want to be able to do stuff that I've never done, show her that I can learn and do it for her, and be a role model for her. That's number one that I thought to myself, right? And now I had a purpose. So the first lesson she taught me is I had a purpose and a problem to solve, right? And I was her role model. The first lesson was really being a role model to my daughter. A second lesson that I learned was, you see, she told me to go on YouTube, right? So simple to this thing. And I just said, I don't know how to do it. It was not because I didn't know, it's because I lacked the skill on solving this. And yeah, the answer is on YouTube. I could have just done it. And that's when I got these 2 lessons that sometimes we feel that we don't know something. It's not because we don't know, it's just that we don't have the skills. And skills can be learned. And in that moment, I told her, look, if this is the case, I'll do it, but give me some time. I've never done it before. And she's like, okay. 7-year-old, she goes away. She said, okay. And then what happens is next few days, I got busy with my work, okay? And I just said, look, the cube is just cube. I've tried it so long. It was deep in my mind that I've never done it. It was really hard. So I left it. And then she comes back to me, have you done it? The next day, have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? And kids never forget what you tell them, okay? And when she kept telling me, have you done it? Have you done it? I felt very accountable. I was like, look here, a 7-year-old child is following up on me to make sure I keep my word, to keep my focus. And I said, I'm going to do now, whatever it takes. And that's when I learned my third lesson. In life, in business, have an accountability partner. That helps you keep focus. And when you keep focus, they remind you of your purpose, of the problem you're solving. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep focus and I'm going to solve this cube. I'm going to learn how to do it. So my lesson number 3 was have a accountability partner. And with that in mind, I went online. I looked at YouTube, right? And I looked at the process and I was like, oh, there is actually a video. In fact, there's so many videos I was teaching here, but I found one video that really hooked me. It was 9 o'clock at night. I put everybody to sleep already, like the kids to sleep. And now I'm on YouTube looking at the process, right? And I was like, hey, this is probably process. And I said, let me try, okay? So I'm going to try it here right now. And that's when I said, oh, this is really good. I got really hooked into the process, right? And I was like, I kept doing it. Still the same cube here. And I've learned the process now. I'm still not very fast at it, but I'm going to show you the whole process I went through, right? So then I'm like, okay, great. How do I do it? Let's try it. Let's do it, okay? Oh, by this time, 2 hours had passed by, right? But what I realized was there was a process, and that's lesson number 4. If I followed something, there was a process, I can do it. And then I was able to solve this, and I was able to solve this. You see, the process I went. But you see, the topmost part was so difficult. And 2 hours had passed by, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I've solved almost the full cube. That was a big victory for me. See, that was a big victory, right? And I was like, I don't know if I want to continue doing this now. And that's when I thought of my accountability partner, and I thought of my purpose. And I was like, you know what? I've spent 2 hours learning this. I should continue. If I don't continue, I'll just, fail at what I started. And that's when I learned my lesson number 5. The start might be difficult. It might get easier in the middle. But to finish something takes that extra level. But if you don't finish something, what you set out to do, it's in vain. And that's when it really kept me to my focus. I'm like, I've set out to do this. Like in business, if you set out to do something, you want to go get the clients, you want to make that sale, the beginning might be easy, and then the customer might be really hard. Like the sale here is really hard. Let's keep going. So I said to myself, let's keep going. That's when I looked at my process again. I was like, I'm really going to do this, okay? And then I said, let me try it again. And then I put my mind and heart at it, right? So let's do it together again, okay? And guess what? I completed it. Wow, wow, wow. That's how I felt that day. See, in front of you, I completed it. This process took me 3 hours to do. And right now, I did it with you within a minute. We were doing it together, right? And I was just focused on what I was doing. I wasn't even looking at you. And that's when I learned my lesson number 6. Is true success, true victory cannot be taught. It has to be experienced. It has to be experienced with the tough problems you're going through. That's what I felt. And I felt amazing. And this time I felt like, wow, I'm an amazing dad, because now I'm a role model to my daughter. So in life, when you're in business, right, things might feel very, very difficult at first. If you give up halfway, you will not taste victory. This is victory. What took me many, many decades to learn and still be unsuccessful. My daughter comes up to me and tells me and holds me accountable. I learn a process, I focus, and I do it. And this is the lesson that I learned. But there's one more very important lesson, and that's lesson number 7. And the lesson number 7 here is this, right? Now that I've learned how to do this, and I know how to do it, I've adapted to my style, I've become faster, I've practiced, I can now teach my daughter. So in business, in life, when you're doing something, if you have never done the victory and the success, and you don't know the process, you cannot teach someone. But now I have done it, I have proven to myself that I'm awesome. I'm unstoppable, and now I can teach someone else as well to be successful. So these are the 7 lessons I learned from this Rubik's Cube. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. And yes, try solving this cube. Take it as a challenge. Would you like to do that? And learn the lessons that this Rubik's Cube will teach you, like it taught me. I wish you all the best. Till then, see you later. Bye.